Joe. He'll walk you through the concepts on the go. If there's any advice you've got, see the show. Cowboy Joe. Cowboy Joe.
Oh, hey, how you doing? It's Cowboy Joe here. Hey, I got a recapitulation for section 1.11. You ready for your second lecture? This lecture is on units in sig figs. Your goal by this lecture is to be able to convert units and perform arithmetic operations maintaining sig figs, which is the next topic. Sig figs are valid digits in a measurements. You not only got to be able to count sig figs when you take a measurement, and you'll be taking lots of measurements in this class. Measurements that will be used in calculations. For example, you wanted to figure out how fast this ball is falling, you'd have to figure out how high it went. You'd have to take a measurement. You'd have to measure it. The more digits you get in that measurement, the more digits you have in the answer. So let's look at sig figs. Sig figs are the valid digits in a measurement. If I asked you to measure that board right there, a lot of you would say 4.4 centimeters. Well, 4.4 centimeters is not the best you can measure. That is not the most precise measurement that you can make, because that last digit in the measurement is assumed to be a guess. And if we're guessing that the last digit is a 4, that means there aren't any lines in between the 4 and the 5. And we got 10 lines in between the 4 and the 5. So that 4 is definitely not the guess. It's the next digit. And it looks like it's right on that line. I mean, you could see that. It's right on that line. So 4.4 right on that line means 0. If it was halfway, mark it with a 5. If it was close to the line but not there, then you can go 4.39 maybe. But you got to make sure you understand that the reader is understanding that that last digit of your measurement is a guess. So how many sig figs do we have now? 3 that we can continue to keep through our calculations. All right, so when do you count zeros? When do you do not? The digits 1 through 9 you always count. They're the easiest. You see a 3, you count it. You see a 7, you count it. You see a 0, you sometimes count it. There are times when you don't count a 0. Out of these examples right here, this second one here, 0.0034, you don't count those zeros. This next 2 right here, you don't, or the next, yeah, these you don't count those zeros. 1200, you don't count those zeros. And well, that's it. The rest of those zeros you would count. So right here, 3 in a row, you don't count those zeros. So what makes those ones you don't count? Well, let's look at my rules. When do you count zeros? So when a 0 is between 2 non-zero digits, count it. That's like 504. When a 0 is a trailing 0 to the right of the decimal, count it. Here is the rule. This is the one you don't count. When zeros are to the right of big numbers, like 73 million, those zeros in those big numbers to the right of the big numbers do not count. 0.032 to the left of decimals, to the right of big numbers, to the left of decimals, you don't count. If there's a line over it for some reason, my line didn't appear here, but imagine a line over to 270. If there was a line over to 270, you would count it, and that would make it 3. All right, so let's look at this. This one is sandwiched. You count them all. 4, count the digits. Remember, you're counting the digits. 3, that's a trailing 0. You count it. Next one, those are to the left of the decimal. You don't count. B was to the right of the decimal. You count it. To the left of the decimal, you don't count. That's 2. 1200, we saw this one on the other page. You don't count those zeros. To the right of big, to the left of small. Really, that's the only rule you got to remember. That's what you don't count. So that's only 2. Now this one's supposed to have a line over the top. This 1200 with a line. Wait, this one over here. This 0 here. 1, 2, 0 with a line 0. So if you see a line over a 0, it's to show that it's significant. So that would give us 3 actually. That one there's sandwiched, counted as 5. On scientific notation problems, you're just counting the digits to the left of the x. Both those two right there, all you're doing is counting the digits to the left of the x. You got 2, 5.8, and you got 3, 3.03. This one, those zeros are to the right of a big number, but it's after a decimal. And since it's after decimal, this last zero actually is a trailing zero. So that trailing zero makes it significant. And if it's significant, then all those other ones are in between, sandwiched together, so they're all significant, counted as 5. And this one is 4, trailing zeros count. All right, so now you know how to count sig figs. How do you maintain them? Once you take a measurement and you get as many sig figs as you can, you're going to have to do a calculation with it. That's what this class is all about. So to add or subtract, you have one rule. You got to focus on place value. To multiply or divide, you have another rule. We'll talk about that in a minute. But this one, you focus on the place value. Let's go over to place values. So starting at the decimal point, let's go from the 5, ones, tens, hundreds, so on and so forth. Don't forget about these guys. If we start at the decimal point and go to the right, notice there isn't any one upon a time. There may have been one at one point, maybe not. Tenths it starts with, tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, and so forth. The least precise place value is the one that is farthest to the left according to the decimal point. Whichever one's farthest to the left would be the least precise. And to maintain sig figs through addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, through them all, to maintain sig figs, here's a rule you got to remember. You can't get more precise than the least precise calculation, or the least precise measurement. You can't get more precise than the least precise measurement. So let's try to figure out which is the least precise measurement. You got this one right here. To identify the precision of a measurement, you name the digit farthest to the right's place value. That'd be this 1. What place value is that? Tens, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So that would be, oh yeah, just add it on the calculator first. You got to figure out what to round it to. That's what we're talking about. So that one's a thousandths. What about that next one? Tenths, and this one has 2 there. So that's hundredths, and then this last one is tenths. Which is the least precise? Well, the one farthest to the left in relation to the decimal point would be tenths. So we got to look at our answer and figure out where the tenths place is and round it to that spot. So 26.3 centimeters would be your answer. Let's try subtraction. Same thing, start with your calculator, just like a habit. You see something like this and you got a minus, get your calculator out and put it down or get it on the display. So that's what is displayed. Your job working with sig figs is to figure out what to round that to. So again, name the precision of each measurement by naming the digit farthest to the right's place value. This 5 is in the hundredths. This 8 is in, oh my, we got tenths, hundredths, thousandths. We got 10,000ths. Least precise is hundredths. So we got to round this to the hundredths, which would be second digit in. The second digit in would be the hundredths, so 4.33 meters. Now, like I said, multiplying and dividing have a different rule. It's actually easier and much more like chemistry. Multiplying and dividing, I don't know, chemistry uses a lot of formulas that have multiplication and division in, I guess. Not so much adding and subtracting. It's the same rules, though. But anyhow, we got to focus on the count. And what I mean by the count is you actually count the sig figs, just like we did in the first section talking about sig figs. So again, when you have a multiplication problem, all you do is use a calculator, get the answer on there, and figure out what to round it to. Well, what do we round it to? Well, this first measurement goes to 3. The second one goes to 2. The least precise would be 2. 2 is smaller than 3. We got to count 2 digits from the left of what's displayed on your calculator and round it to that spot. So if we round it to that spot, we end up with 3. Well, to the nearest 10 would be a 20, counting by tens, 10, 20, 30. 19.7 is closest to 20. 320 centimeters squared. Let's try one more division this time. So again, go straight to your calculator, get it on the display, fills the screen. What do you write down as your answer? What do you round it to? Well, We got 4 in our first answer, and we got 3 in our second measurement. So in our answer, we got to count 3 in from the left. So the 1, the 2, and the 1. We're stopping on a 1. We want that many digits. So we got to round to that spot because the 9 is next. We go 1.22. Notice the units on this, grams per milliliter. So I just hammered you with a lot of information about units and significant digits. But remember to take advantage of the stop and play and rewind features of a video. So good luck with section 1.11.
Cowboy Joe. Cowboy Joe.